Okay, hi there. I am here with a video unlike any other videos I have done. So I'm excited. I wanted to do something spooky. I was maybe gonna do like a makeup video, but then I didn't get the makeup in time, so I was like... Also, I tried one of the makeup looks and it turned out so badly that I was like, I don't know about this one. So I'm gonna tell you my favorite Halloween movies, like, I guess movies I watch in October. I won't say Halloween movies, but like spooky, horror, whatever. And I have some runner-ups too, but I wanted to do like kind of a top 10. They're not in any order, but you might be able to tell which ones I like the best. Okay, so first I have Rocky Horror. This is like one of my favorite movies of all time. It's a cult classic. If you haven't seen it, you should, but preferably go see it in the theater, do the whole thing. It's such a great experience. My parents did it when they were my age. Like, I've done it a couple times, and it's so fun. I mean, it's the theater kid in me, but I genuinely like would really enjoy like performing. I don't know if I'd be like Frankenfurter or Magenta would be kind of fun. I'd love to be Janet though, but that's my favorite song from it also, is Damn It Janet. Also Touch Me is great. But yeah, I love that movie so much. I really have a soft spot in my heart for it. I've watched it on Halloween a couple years in a row now. Probably for a while actually, and I might watch it tomorrow too. I've already watched it once this month, but yeah. Okay, and then my second movie is The Shining. This is like what I normally tell people is my favorite like horror movie or movie in general. I don't know if it's very Halloween-y, but I wanted to include it because I feel like it fits with this list. I just love it. The acting's great, the directing's great. It's an iconic film. If you haven't seen it, what are you doing? It's like kind of scary, but also like fucking watch it. Like, I don't care if you don't like horror movies, like just watch it. It's more psychological thriller, so know that going into it. And there's some weird shit, but like, you know, I think like if you're really afraid of horror movies and stuff, like look up the spoilers ahead of time so you know what happens and you'll be fine. Anyway, so The Shining is great. I love that movie a lot. Next I have Poltergeist. This one I'm actually in the middle of. My boyfriend and I started it last night, but I already know that I want to put it on this list. It's so good. I didn't realize it was directed by Steven Spielberg until I watched it. But it's truly iconic, and the acting is great. I also just love that it's like kind of a horror movie. It's in the 80s, so it's not really like horror, but it's like a horror movie, but the way that the characters react is not like every other horror movie. Like, people aren't just afraid, they also think that this shit is kind of funny, because it is. And like, there's like joyful moments in this movie, which you don't often get in horror movies, so I loved that. Also, like, the practical effects are awesome. The special effects have aged very poorly, I'll tell you that, but the practical effects are, ooh. If I insert a clip, I'll put the like chair scene, because that's what like made me really want to watch this movie. So please watch that. But yeah, and I'm really excited to finish it. We're gonna finish it tonight. I'm super pumped. Okay. I also recently watched Scream, which is great. Definitely like more flawed in the sexism department, but it's still worth watching. Is it Drew Barrymore? Is that it? I don't know. I get mixed up with like white ladies of Hollywood sometimes, but like the intro scene is so perfect, and like I love the phone voice. Like, that shit like gets me, because that's like a very real fear. Like, as a woman, like I was like home alone, like the movie definitely taps into very real fears. The mask and the outfit itself I don't find scary, but that was like good for me, because then the movie was more enjoyable because I wasn't like so afraid all the time. I do like being scared, just not like terrified, especially because I live in an old creepy house right now and I genuinely feel like there are ghosts, so let me know if you want me to tell my ghost story. But yeah, so Scream is really good. The acting's kind of hilarious. I also just feel like it's so like of its time. As are a lot of these actually. I just really like movies that really like represent, like they're iconic for their time period. You can really like see that in them. Yeah. So that's Scream. I haven't seen the other ones also, or I watched I think half of Scream 2, but I didn't finish it. It was also enjoyable though. Tell me if I should continue watching all of them. But yeah, and then I have Ghostbusters on my list. This was, I actually don't watch it that much because I don't think it's like on anything normally, but I do love this movie. It's just so good. I mean, I feel like I don't have to say anything more about that. Their music, like, oh, Bill Murray, like the whole cast is so good. I love the secretary character also. I feel like that's me if I were in that movie. Okay, and then I have Nightmare Before Christmas, which I know is kind of like basic edgy girl of me, but it's so good. It, like, I grew up watching that movie around Halloween and around Christmas, like all the time. I loved it. I loved The Corpse Bride too. I love Tim Burton movies. I do, and I did as a kid. I had a little Jack Skellington action figure, and there was a Zero that came with it, and one other toy that, like, maybe I'll put a picture of if I can find it, but I don't know what it's called. But yeah, I love that movie. I went to a drive-in in LA to try to watch it, and then it got postponed, so I was super bummed because I was really, really looking forward to it, and I went with my brother, and I, like, packed all this shit, and I was, like, so ready, we were so excited, and then it, like, didn't happen. It was really depressing, but I'm gonna go do that on, like, November 8th or something, so I will see it at a drive-in, and I'm very excited about that. Then I have Beetlejuice, which also iconic Halloween movie, also Tim Burton. The music's great. I really don't like Beetlejuice himself. He creeps me out. Michael Keaton is, yeah, it's kind of whack, but it's good. I like the music a lot. It's just like some of those scenes are just so, I keep saying iconic and iconic, and really like stick with you. But yeah. And then I have a movie that you actually might not have seen compared to all of these other ones that are pretty common. The Dead Don't Die. The Dead Don't Die is a movie, the cast is amazing, let me tell you. Bill Murray, among others. I might put up more people if I feel like it, but Bill Murray's great, the whole cast is great. I really want to rewatch it. I watched it last year with my now boyfriend in theaters when it came out, and we loved it. It's not like perfect, but it's so fun and so good, and a great fucking zombie movie. It's so funny. It's so funny. So watch that. If you haven't seen it, which I'm betting you haven't because it wasn't that popular when it came out, watch that movie. Okay. Next I have Creep. Creep really scared me the first time I saw it. I actually think I've only seen it once, but I do want to rewatch it. But yeah, really freaked me out because it's creepy, shockingly. It's so good. I don't want to spoil anything, but like, I love it, and it like really like freaks you out like psychologically too, and like really makes you like wonder like what's actually going on, and like, oh, I love that shit. And then last on my top 10 is Teeth. Teeth is a movie which I think you should go into blindly, but if you like bad, like movies that are so bad they're good, which I love, you will like this movie. Also, if you're a woman, you'll probably like this. I don't know about men, I don't want to speak for men, but I love this movie. And it's essentially about a girl who finds out she has teeth in her vagina. That's the whole premise. It's great. I really don't want to say any more about that. I've been trying to get my boyfriend to watch it for so long. Oh, so good. So good. But yeah, those are my top 10. So yeah, I feel really good about that. I actually really want to rewatch like all of these before tomorrow, which is Halloween. So we'll see how that goes. My runner-ups, those are, so these are some things that like either like I've watched this month and really enjoyed, or like just like haven't seen enough to include in my top 10, I think. So I watched Shirley. I didn't really like pay attention the whole time, so I think I should rewatch that. It's with Elizabeth Moss, who's like one of my favorite actresses right now. And it's very like weird and psychological and strange, but like fun and interesting. Not that scary. Not that scary. But good. And like Elizabeth Moss' character is like, oh, I love her. I love her. Okay. Next on my runner-ups is The Twilight Zone. I grew up watching this. My mom grew up watching this, so she made me do the same. I love it so much. I'll probably rewatch my like favorite creepy episodes tomorrow. I love The Hitchhiker. It's great. Like one of my favorites ever. And every time I watch it, it makes me very afraid to look in my rear view mirror while I'm driving. What else? Oh, the one with the doll, Talking Tina. I don't know if it's called Talking Tina, but that episode is great. My mom and my uncle actually have this like running bit where they like give each other creepy dolls because of that episode, like for gifts and stuff. It's pretty weird actually, but there are lots of creepy dolls in this house, so they'll like take them and then give each other the dolls or scare each other with the dolls. There's a window into my family. Okay, this next movie I watched with my boyfriend this month, and it's also like a so bad it's good movie. It's from I think the 60s or 70s. It's called Captain Kronos Vampire Hunter, and they say Kronos because it's like a British guy, which is so goofy, but it's like very bad like vampire makeup, lots of like women that age rapidly once they're bitten, which is like something in vampire lore that I really did not know about. We watched it because I thought Javier Bardem was in it, because in the like thumbnail it looked like Javier Bardem, but it's not. But we just kept watching it because it was so odd. I honestly couldn't tell you what the plot was, but we had a good time. Next I have Green Room. Green Room is like I think it's an A24 movie, so it's like indie or whatever. There's some really good actors that I like a lot that are in lots of indie movies. But I think it's one of the better A24 movies that's come out recently, and it's like not like exploitative of people of color, so that's cool. Some of those movies are. Some of them aren't, but oh, it's about a band, like a punk band that goes to play a gig randomly and then ends up at an alt-right club, and like then they get like trapped in the club in the green room. It's really good. It really like snuck up on me too. Like I enjoyed it way more than I thought I would. Then I have Get Out, which is just like a classic. I kind of didn't put it in my top 10 because it's just so popular right now. But it's great. If you haven't seen it, you should. I haven't rewatched it, I think just because it spooked me, but I should, and I want to. And then I have Shaun of the Dead. Shaun of the Dead is a great movie. It's the same director as Scott Pilgrim, but it's really good. Simon Pegg is the lead. The pacing is kind of weird, I will say, but like I really enjoyed it as a whole. It's really funny. It's really like goofy zombie movie. So if you like zombie movies, watch that. And it's very much not like other zombie movies, so that's cool. And then lastly, I wanted to talk about Twilight. I was gonna put this in my top 10 and then I didn't have room, and I was like, if one thing has to go, I think it's gonna be Twilight. I love the series. I recently rewatched all of them with my boyfriend. How many times have I said that? We don't talk about that. And they're so bad, but so good. I also just like love Kristen Stewart. I know, very lesbian of me, but it's so iconic. The series is great. It's just like so hilarious and weird, and like give it a chance. If you are one of those people that's like, oh, I'm not watching that, I'm too good for that, like give it a chance. You might enjoy it more than you think, because it's just so weird and it's so fun to like analyze because of that. But yeah, and also I wanted to say, like, I haven't read the books, but let me know if I should, because I've heard that they're also like so bad they're good. And normally I don't read books that are like that. I watch a lot of movies like that, but I don't read books like that. So if I should read those, let me know. But yeah, that's that. I had a lot of fun talking about these movies too. As you can tell, I like them a lot. I would love to do like my least favorite Halloween movies also, but Halloween's tomorrow, so I don't think I have time, but next year. Yeah, I wore a spooky shirt for this too. But yeah, I wish I was doing more for Halloween, but COVID. Stay safe, don't go to fucking parties, please, and vote. Please vote if you're in the US. Please also give me some movie recommendations for Halloween movies. I always love a good horror movie any time of year, and I would love to know your favorite Halloween movies. Like, genuinely, this is not a ploy to get you to comment. I genuinely would like to read like other great horror movies I should watch. So I have to watch Gerald's Game, and the other movie I have to watch is Paranormal Activity. I remember like my friends in like elementary and middle school like loving that movie, but either I was too afraid or like I think I didn't get horror movies when I was younger because I was like, why would you want to be scared? But there's so much more than that. And if that's the way you feel, like, trust that like it's worth it. It really is, because there are so many iconic movies that you're missing out on if you decide you don't want to watch horror movies. Like, just watch them. That's worth it, I promise. But yeah, please give me movie recommendations. Thank you so much for watching. But yeah, alright, happy Halloween!